Coach, we've seen the stats, we've seen everything when you went to UNLV and how you took over, the turnover mindset as far as that goes. What do you bring as far as that to the ball hawks, to the defense with the safeties, and how do you approach that in practice?
I think it starts with a mindset in meetings and explaining to the guys how much work can be done pre-snap. If we wait for everything post-snap and become reactionary to everything, we're going to be a step slower or a step behind. Now we may make a play where it's a PBU or a catch tackle for 3, 4, 5 yards, but I think the big piece is understanding the urgency that it takes to get aligned, get the call, and then you got to ID the formation, understand the situation, splits, are they flip aligned, where's the back, and understanding all that within a couple of seconds. And so I think there's so much pre-snap teaching and understanding that goes into it before now all of a sudden now you're playing the play almost before it happens. And I think that a lot of that is going on right now in workouts. What is your urgency to just get aligned and get ready at that cone, whatever it may be? And so preaching that urgency and understanding of everything pre-snap, it, to me, is the biggest piece right now before we even get to anything post-snap. Because again, there's a lot that goes on that you can get tells from an offense to be able to help you post-snap.
As a former player, as a coach, you've always heard the moniker that if you can't do it, you teach it, but you did both. Do you kind of have to peel that back a little bit because you would have made that play a little earlier, things like that in the room, or do you hold them to the same standard?
Well, I don't know if I would have made plays earlier. I think sometimes my career gets, exaggerated with one play. But I was blessed to be able to be here and play for a couple years. And I don't think I necessarily try to look at it as if I'm the player. There is always that percent in your mind from, your recent playing history. But it's what works best for that individual young man. How can you get a point across to that young man? And trying to do that differently for each kid, because we all learn differently, we all think differently, and building that relationship and trust of open communication, back and forth to be able to get exactly what we need done for that specific call. And again, each player kind of reacts differently to coaching and how to coach and things like that. So trying to find that common ground with each individual, to me right now, is a big piece.
Philip? Good. Good. Thanks, Coach.